doing this at night. This is Brown Sugar's litter. They are over a week old, and these guys are actually a pretty good size, even though that they're a pretty big litter. Part of the reason for that is probably because these are Zero's kittens, and so far we've had one litter that was produced from Zero, and that even though the litter was a decent sized litter, those kittens were some of the biggest kittens we've ever produced. So they were pretty big. So, but you can see beautiful spots. I mean, a lot of our kittens take a good amount of time to develop the spots. For instance, a lot of our kittens, the spots take time to break up in the back. But Brown Sugar is one of our highest quality cats. She is our third most requested queen and comes from really, really good stock. And one of the really unique qualities that Brown Sugar really has is that so when a Bengal's born, they were born with 3 stripes. They're born with 1 stripe down the spine, and then they're born with 2 stripes down either side. And whether those stripes down either side break up is a sign of quality, and usually I would say about a good 80% of the time they do. However, the stripe down the spine, about 98% of the time, 99% of the time, never ever breaks up. Now, Brown Sugar, actually, her spots down her spine break up, and it's extremely rare quality that you never see, and this is a quality she actually passes on to her kittens. And you can see from the back that that's already happening even at like a week old, like well before you'll ever see it, you know, anywhere else. These kittens, their spots are already breaking up, and so you know, it's awesome, you know. The rosettes obviously aren't forming yet because they don't usually form until about 4 weeks. But I mean, you can see the clear, distinct markings on these kittens. The spots are very distinct. They're very pronounced. There's no muddying of the markings whatsoever. I mean, these guys look like mini cheetahs right now. They have very wild-looking faces. Brown Sugar looks most like the Asian leopard cat out of all of ours. This is a brown one. So out of this litter, we have 3 brown girls. I believe we even have a brown boy. Without checking the sexes, I believe this is a brown. Yep, she's a brown queen. So this is one of our brown queens. So you can see the markings are just absolutely gorgeous, you know, and it's just unbelievable. This is the only lynx that was born in this litter. Again, the markings are just unbelievable, and lynxes take a long time to develop. They really do. So the fact that the markings are they're showing up so contrasted, so dark, so early on, even in a lynx, it's pretty amazing. This is one of our silver girls. Yes, I'm waking you. Let me see. Yep, silver girl. So, again, I'll pull them out. You can see the spots, again, so contrasted, so beautiful. Their eyes are starting to open. Very wild markings. You can see all of them. I mean, honestly, they remind me of little cheetahs. Brown Sugar, all of her litters, they always have these classic wild looks to them that I don't really see a whole lot in the other litters. Is these wild markings. When somebody comes to me and they say that they want, you know, a truly wild looking, you know, I say, well, do you want them to look like, you know, an Asian leopard cat? And then I point them in the direction of Brown Sugar. You can see all those markings just breaking up in the background. And I'm blown away every time I see this. Because we're going to go take a look at Mystique's litter next. And you'll notice that Mystique's litter, even though Mystique is a really beautiful queen, her kittens are not going to have the kind of clarity that these kittens are going to have, and the markings on the back are not going to be broken up like this. They certainly won't. And of course the best way to view the markings are always from the back like that, because the hair goes back. So, yes, I'm using it for extra light.
Oh, sorry.
So the eyes aren't even open yet, again, because they're just a little over a week. How old are these guys? 10 days? Okay, so they're 10 days old. And these, as I said, these guys are a really good size. If you want a comparison, I'm going to show you what these guys look like in my hand. They're really overflowing in my hand. So, and just to reiterate, brown sugar comes from a quadruple champion. And if you want to know what a quadruple grand champion, and it has been featured on Animal Planet many times. You'll find on our homepage, Animal Planet's Bengals 101. Anytime a Bengal that's been featured with a white screen in the background, that is brown sugar's father, her sire, her quadruple grand champion sire. She also has a sister who's a supreme grand champion, and that's actually the highest award that you can really get. There's nothing higher than that. So, her mother's actually going through the circuits now, picking up some titles too. So it's really definitely in the bloodlines. This kitten, as you can see, is actually more classic of what you would notice in other kittens. The back hasn't broken up as much. You can see the 3 stripes. So those 3 stripes are what you normally see in another kitten. However, I won't be surprised if those 3 stripes do break up in a little while. They just haven't broken up as early as the other kittens, which is not a mark against this kitten at all. It just means that it hasn't developed as early. And honestly, these kittens are developing a lot earlier than they really should. So there's 2 silvers here. The rest are all browns, except for the Lynx. This one here is, I believe it's the brown boy. Yes, it's the brown boy. So you can see the eyes are starting to open there.